Science and technology have changed the face of warfare. With a defining speed and accuracy, weapons today are far more lethal and dangerous. Naval warfare got its much-needed fillip with submarines. Called a sub in short, the submarine is a watercraft capable of operating completely underwater. Other than their attack and deterrent uses, submarines have multiple civilian uses as well. We will tell you why every country wants submarines as part of its defense arsenal, but we also should not forget to tell you that submarines are also an integral part of tourism, undersea archaeology, facility inspection and maintenance, and marine science. Submarines perform several crucial military functions. This includes attacking the enemy watercraft above and below the surface, protecting friendly aircraft carriers and other ships, acting as a nuclear strike force, blockade running reconnaissance, so on and so forth. Today, many national navies maintain a fleet of 5 or more submarines, both large and small, whose main role is to act as a deterrent in territorial waters. But let's take a look on the origin and how these weapons of the seas came into being. But before that, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. The first documented use of a submersible weapon in combat came in September of 1776 during the American Revolutionary War. During the war, an 8-foot-long hand-powered sub named Turtle was used in an attempt to attach a bomb to a British Royal Navy vessel in New York Harbor. But that was then. Over 100 years later, Irish inventor John Philip Holland built a model submarine in 1876 and a full-scale one in 1878. This was not a mean feat. This came after a number of unsuccessful attempts. In 1896, he designed the Holland Type 6 submarine. This vessel made use of internal combustion engine power on the surface and electric battery power for submerged operations. 18 years later, submarines made their full-fledged entry into warfare. World War I was on, and that changed the course of history. In World War II as well, submarines proved to be very effective and deadly contributors to the war effort. Germany used submarines to cut off Britain's supply route by sinking merchant ships. The Imperial Japanese Navy operated the most diverse fleet of submarines in the war, including midget submarines, medium-range submarines, and long-range fleet submarines. Japan also deployed the fastest subs that could carry multiple aircraft, and subs equipped with the most advanced torpedoes. So, by now, we know that the primary function of the submarine is to fight and destroy enemy subs and ships. There are certain specific features that make subs the most sought-after weapon. Detecting hostile submarines requires high-quality sonar, and it is critical that the subs approach the hostile vessels and warships completely unnoticed. The need to escape detection by anti-submarine ships and maritime patrol aircraft becomes even more critical following an engagement. Some of the most recent attack submarines are capable of firing cruise missiles at both ships and targets on land. To determine which attack submarine is the finest, stealth and armament are the most important elements. And this brings us to the very pertinent question: which submarine is the best? Based on several attributes, United Kingdom's Astute class is considered one of the most lethal and effective subs. It is closely followed by the Russian Granny class. The Sierra 2 class is also an effective sub as far as the Russian Navy is concerned. The improved Los Angeles class from the United States too makes the cut in the top sub list. And now, let's take a look at these class of submarines in detail. Seawolf class in USA. This is the most sophisticated and costly hunter-killer submarines in the world. Submarines of the Seawolf class are among the most silent ever built. Even when traveling at high speeds, it remains very silent. Seawolf class is said to be able to cruise at 20 knots and still be undetectable. Virginia class submarines, again from the United States. Virginia class submarines are powered by nuclear propulsion. As a smaller, less costly and more adaptable alternative to the Seawolf class, Virginia was developed. To minimize their sonic signature, the Virginia class submarines have a newly developed anechoic coating, segregated deck structures and a redesigned propulsor. In terms of noise, Virginia is said to be comparable to the Seawolf class. Astute class submarines from United Kingdom. The new Astute class subs are more stealthy and equipped with a greater arsenal than their predecessors. 6 533mm torpedo tubes are installed in these submarines for use in combat. Torpedoes like the Spearfish, Subharpoon and Tomahawk are launched from these. At least 36 different kinds of weapons are on board. Then comes Russian Granny class. The latest Russian nuclear-powered attack submarine is Project 885 Yasin. These subs are equipped with 24 vertical launch tubes to accommodate different cruise missiles. 8 650mm torpedo tubes are also part of the arsenal. Sierra 2 class also from Russia. The hulls of these subs are made of titanium, which is light and robust. Submarines like Sierra 2 are capable of operating in extremely deep waters. While their maximum operating depth is 750 meters, they can dive as deep as 520 meters anytime during the operation. Improved Los Angeles class from the USA. Around 40 older Los Angeles class submarines are still in use by the US Navy alongside the newer Seawolf and Virginia class submarines. The anti-submarine capabilities of these submarines are very impressive. The first Los Angeles class vessel was built in 1988. Subharpoon missiles and Tomahawk land attack missiles are only some of the weapons available in the class's powerful weaponry. Akula class from Russia. The Soviet Union produced a number of Akula class ships in the late 1980s. Compared to earlier Soviet nuclear-powered attack boats, this class represents a substantial advancement in Soviet submarine design. These subs are equipped with 8 torpedo tubes, one each measuring 650mm and 533mm. More than a dozen anti-ship and anti-aircraft weapons are also part of the arsenal. While those were the deadliest submarines, the use of nuclear weapons on submarines was a game changer. The naval arms race rapidly escalated between the US and Russia during the Cold War. Now the new submarines could travel much further and stay submerged for longer than their World War II predecessors, making them far more dangerous. Equipped with ballistic missiles and nuclear warheads, the new age submarines often stay at sea for weeks or even months, waiting for orders and scanning the ocean for any sign of enemy ships. There are several reports on the number of submarines the nations have across the world. We have collated a list based on the IISS report on the total number of subs the mega world powers have. China leads the pack with 79 subs, followed by the US with 68 submarines. Russia boasts of 64 military submarines and North Korea has almost half the number of submarines, standing at 36. Iran, South Korea and Japan have less than 30 subs each. In these swift-changing times, keeping the borders safe comes as a prerequisite for any nation. And with these huge naval watchdogs, their smooth sail is what keeps the nations and the world at peace. Thank you for watching.